All right, you disappearing objects phenomenon believers, listen up. I took a cover off one of the IF cans and had four little tiny bolts, and I set them down right in this general area here. And lots of tools. There were a lot of tools here, and I thought at some point one of the screws or bolts got knocked off the table. But then I went digging, and in the hole right here, right in there is the bolt. I'll get it out using a pin. But whenever I lose something, I I'm unable to function fully on what I want to get done. It keeps bugging me. Like, where the hell did that bolt go? It was just there. Yeah, it was just there. And also, when it went in the hole, some dust got on top, so I couldn't see it. So then I had this hole over here. I don't know if it's in the frame. This hole here, there was a piece of wire that couldn't have possibly gone in there, but it was in there. And I started thinking, let me look around. And then I cleaned the dust off, and here's the bolt sitting in here. But it bothers me when I lose something. Oh, and here's the little lock washer for it right there. Got those. But as I'm working on something over the years, I have been using uh, these little bins. I got these at the dollar store. These bins here. And I put my bolts in there. But lately, with this radio, I got real sloppy because I start realizing that every capacitor on this radio is bad. So it's a matter of just toughing it out and changing it. But I just want to show you, if you stay with it. And I also want to mention, give a shout out to my buddy Pete back in New Jersey. I mentioned the disappearing objects phenomenon to him. He ain't buying into it. And I said, Pete, there were actually people that said furniture disappeared out of their house. And, right away he's like, John. He's like, John, what's wrong there? And I was like, yeah. Uh, some people, their reality is totally different. They might give a piece of furniture away, and a week later they forgot they gave it away, and then it disappeared. Or there's other things that the thing didn't disappear. And I said to Pete, basically, the object, when I consider disappearing objects phenomenon, is when the object disappears, then it shows back up in the same place you lost it. I mean, like I told you about that receipt in the pants. And someone suggested that I didn't have a different pair of pants. I came home with the same pair of pants on. Had the new lawnmower. I just bought it. Had the receipt in that pants. Went and mowed the lawn with the new lawnmower, my lawn. And then as soon as I was done, I put my hand in my pocket and the receipt wasn't there. That's how good that was. And then, like I said, the next day, when I was checking the pockets of the pants, in that pocket that I checked a million times, was a quite large receipt. It wasn't a little thin MasterCard receipt. And I was like, no way. And it started bothering me right away. I started thinking about other pair of pants. And I know I emptied all four pockets out on the pants. I even checked on the dungarees. You got the watch pocket, the little tiny. I checked that. Trust me, I checked that. I even felt on the outside of the pants and couldn't feel anything. Now the receipt that I got out of the pants the next day, obviously, you could feel it through the pants. So that's one I can't explain. The other one that's sort of that long ruler I had. I lost a long steel ruler in the would be my toolbox, and I took all the tools out of the box, took all the drawers out of the box, took the box over my head and shook it. Nothing. Bought another ruler, put it in there, put it on pods. Then when I moved out here, they brought me my pods, and I brought the toolbox in and opened the toolbox up because I needed a tool. And what dropped out is the ruler. Now, probably if I took the box out, put it on the bench, I could actually find where that ruler went to, but how did it, well anyway, how did it get to that special spot in the toolbox when I laid it, that's 2 times that happened to me. Other than that, I told you the other times I would actually track it down. The message from God, the coffee pot where the sun come in through the window at just the right angle, hit the globe coffee pot, steel globe coffee pot, and projected the warning labels backwards, upside down, on a wall on the other side of the room in the dairy, and it was only there for a few seconds. And I was smart enough to put my hand in the beam, follow the beam back to the coffee pot, and just as I did that, the sun went behind a cloud, or the sun didn't really go behind it, the cloud went in front of the sun. But there's been instances where I stay with something until I figure out what the hell happened. And a lot of times, it's really weird stuff. It's like I'm working on my sister's car radio, and I have my keys with me, which had her keys for her car. And I set the keys down on the side on the floor, and the radio had been taken out. And the keys landed and tangled in the wires for the radio. I took the radio down in the cellar, come back to get rest of the radio, and then I realized the rest of the things. Realized I didn't have my keys. I went looking. At the end of the day, I said, well, let me at least look on the radio, or repair the radio. And as I picked the radio up, tangled in the one freaking wire that I think there's like one wire that comes out of a Mopar radio. It's the power lead. And the antenna goes in, yeah. It just, the keys landed on that wire and got twisted in that, it's a 1 in a million shot. And, the one reason I'm telling you is it actually happened. But there's the little screw with his head sticking up. And there was enough dust from when I moved the radio on top of that screw that I couldn't see it. I think that's it. All right, that's it.